Welcome to Teaching Tips with Dr. Allison Upshaw. Today's tip is a little reminder about how we need to think about Bloom's taxonomy. In 1956, Bloom and colleagues created the first Bloom's taxonomy chart. If you're not familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, then think about it as a way of framing our learning skills, our critical thinking skills, from the lower thinking skills like just remembering or just knowledge, all the way up to, in the original chart, evaluation. Now, in 2001, Anderson and colleagues updated this old chart and rearranged a few things. First, they changed the words themselves from nouns to verbs, and then they put creation at the top. So the idea is that the pinnacle of reaching your higher order thinking skills is to actually be able to create something new with the information that you have, right? So what I wanted to think about today is to show you how I use Bloom's as a rubric when I'm thinking about the tasks that I have my students do. For instance, their vocabulary, there's very specific academic and music vocabulary that I need them to learn. So that is remembering, understanding, but I also need them to apply it. So the most that I can expect from them is some kind of mid-range in the Bloom's taxonomy. Remember, with create at the higher end and remembering at the lowest end, applying it gets them about halfway. We have to know and manipulate our respiratory function, so they need to remember the breathing points that I'm asking them to do. They need to understand how to manipulate their breath in order to sing the songs and be able to apply that, of course. But they also need to be able to analyze their use of breath and evaluate other people's use of breath. So just understand my task of getting them to understand the process of breathing and singing gets us to 5 points. So we're pretty close now to the top and moving well into the higher thinking order skills. And song performance. Now here is where I get my full creation or creative points according to Bloom's, because they have to create something new just based on what they've been given. So I give them the written music or I assign them a song, and then they have to create their own version of it, applying all of these things that have come before. So my question for you today is, what tasks are you asking your students to do, and how well does it fit on getting them to move from the lower end of the thinking skills to the higher end of thinking skills and critically engaging with your work? So think about it. Let me know. You know how to reach me. And as always, have an artful day.